Hi, good evening. Welcome to Sports Today. You're live with me, Rajesh Gupta. We are just minutes away then from the final of the 2021 T20 World Cup between Australia and New Zealand. Of course, both these teams coming from pretty competitive semi-final victories, and the toss took place just moments ago. Australia have won the toss and decided to field in the final of the 2021 T20 World Cup. Not surprisingly, Australia are unchanged. They have, of course, won the toss. Skipper Aaron Finch won the toss and decided to bowl. Just the one change for New Zealand, as was predicted, Tim Seifert is in for Devon Conway. That's the only change then for New Zealand. I'll first get you the playing 11 for both the teams, Australia and New Zealand. Australia, like I said, unchanged. So David Warner and skipper Aaron Finch, the openers. Mitchell Marsh at number three, Stephen Smith, Glenn Maxwell, Marcus Stoinis. What a knock that was from him, as well as man of the match in the semi-final against Pakistan. An unbeaten 41 of 17 balls from Matthew Wade, the wicketkeeper. He's at number seven. And then the bowling there looks again incredibly strong. Pat Cummins, Mitchell Starc, Adam Zampa, and Josh Hazelwood. That's the 11 then for Australia. New Zealand, Martin Guptill and Daryl Mitchell, the two openers. Kane Williamson at number three, Tim Seifert in for Devon Conway today. Like I said, Glenn Phillips, James Nisham, splendid all-rounder. Remember his reaction after New Zealand sealed that victory over England in the semi-final. He was just stoic and unmoved. He says he did not come down half way down from the world, from halfway across the world to just win a semi-final. They mean business. The Black Caps: Mitchell Santner, Tim Southey, Adam Milne, Trent Bolt, and the leg spinner Ish Sodhi. Look at those two teams. They matched evenly, man to man. They're incredibly well balanced. Two of the best fielding sides in the tournament. You'd feel for Pakistan, you'd feel for England, the fact that they stuttered in the semi-final. But remember, I said in a few of my earlier shows as well, I said that on a few of my earlier shows, that it's not about the top teams. It's look at what happened in the 2019 Cricket World Cup 2 years back, 50 over World Cup. India were the top team in the league stages, followed by Australia, and England and New Zealand. It was who eventually sneaked into the final. And of course, we all remember what happened there. A dramatic 50 over ODI World Cup final. New Zealand, of course, avenged that heartbreak over England in the semi-final, and Australia then went on to defeat Pakistan. Pakistan have never had happy memories against the Aussies in the knockout tournaments, especially in the those knockout matches of an ICC World Cup. So that's that. Australia and England through to the finals of the T20 World Cup. Again, this is not the first time these two Trans-Tasman rivals are facing off in the title clash of a World Cup. Remember 2015, New Zealand looked so good under Brendan McCullum. They had such a good pace attack. They had such attacking batsmen. But against Australia, in the final, they just imploded. Brendan McCullum's team, that was heartbreaking for the Kiwis to go down that way. It was an overwhelming, comprehensive defeat to Australia in the 2015 World Cup final. But again, much to New Zealand's credit, they went on to the 2019 Cricket World Cup, which we were just talking about, and now they are incredibly in the final of yet another World Cup. Look at the trilogy. Before I come to Australia, look at New Zealand's trilogy. Everybody's been talking about it, right? 2019 World Cup final, 2021 World Test Championship final. They defeated India. Again, India were the best team in the World Test Championship cycle, the first cycle, the final of which was played just a few months back in England. And now, again, New Zealand have somehow found a way to get into the final. They, of course, lost that one game to Pakistan, but against the other teams, they were just so good, especially against India. Their bowling lineup restricted India to 110, only 110 of 20 overs. And then those victories against Namibia, Afghanistan, Scotland meant that New Zealand were in the semi-final, where they were up against a very strong England team, even though England were playing the tournament without the talismanic all-rounder Ben Stokes. There was no Timmer Mills. He was injured through the course of the tournament, as was Jason Roy. Of course, there was no Jofra Archer as well. So there was a bulk of, you take out those four key characters from an England T20 lineup, any shorter format lineup for England, and it's a massive setback. And England, of course, they played well. They were very, very competitive throughout For Pakistan again, is it the Aussie jinx? Is it the fact that they just Australia is just mentally too strong when it comes to these knockout games, to the semi-finals, finals? It's just that Pakistan did play well. They had a couple of good knocks from Mohammad Ziswan up top. Babar Azam led from the front, but those dying moments, Shaheen Afridi was taken apart with Matthew Wade, Hassan Ali's dropped catch, all of that combined to prove really, really costly for Pakistan, and Australia are eventually in the final of the T20 World Cup 2021. And this is ironic, right? We keep talking about home conditions, we keep talking about conditions. Of course, India technically the host of the 2021 World Cup, T20 World Cup. They could not make it to the semi-final. Then you don't have any other Asian team in the final. It's two Trans-Tasman rivals from halfway across the world who are going to compete for the World Cup. And whatever it is, they will have a new T20 World Cup champion. Of course, India won the inaugural edition. Then Pakistan, England won it. Sri Lanka won in 2014. West Indies won it a couple of times. The defending champions could not make it to the semis. But whoever wins tonight, if there's going to be a new T20 world champion. Neither Australia nor in New Zealand have ever won this competition. So this will be something they're looking forward to do. In fact, New Zealand broke their world title jinx, didn't they, a few months back? They won the World Test Championship, but they're yet to win a World Cup title in limited overs cricket. So this could be their chance. Again, both teams very, very evenly matched. I somehow feel it'll come down to probably those man-to-man battles. If Australia have a David Warner, New Zealand have a Martin Guptill. Australia have a superb left-arm pacer in Mitchell Starc. New Zealand have a Trent Bolt. Australia have Zampa. New Zealand have Sodhi. And Kane Williamson, of course, he's such a cool, calm character. And Aaron Finch has shown himself to be a remarkable leader for Australia in the shorter formats. Didn't got up to, when his reign didn't start off very well. They've lost a few here and there, but now they've ensured that they've reached the final of the 2021 T20 World Cup. Make no mistake, Australia have chosen to bowl first. Aaron Finch said the pitch looked a little little drier than usual, and this is what they want to get to. This is what teams have wanted to chase in this competition, in this tournament. Right through, you wanted to see teams wanted to chase down totals, and Australia skipper Aaron Finch, he'd want to do that as well, and says that we've put ourselves in a good position to do that. In fact, this is of Aaron Finch. This is what Aaron Finch feels of New Zealand's chances, Australia's chances of winning this tournament, this T20 World Cup. But come what may, we're expecting a cracker of a game. As neutral fans, right, Indians, we're obviously disappointed, heartbroken that India could not make it. But will India take on the new T20 World Champions in 3 days from now? Remember, New Zealand are touring India. They start to play their first T20I on the 17th of November, just 3 days out. So will we take on the new T20 World Champions? Will we take on the runners-up? We'll figure that out soon enough as we head to this game. 9 minutes away then for the final of the 2021 T20 World Cup between Australia and New Zealand. Like I said, Australia skipper Aaron Finch won the toss and decided to bowl, and Australia are unchanged. Just the one change for New Zealand, Tim Seifert in for Devon Conway. What's going to happen tonight is going to be some blistering, fantastic cricket. That's what we're expecting. So stay tuned and do come back on Sports Today. I'll be back to bring you a synopsis of what happened in Dubai at the Dubai International Cricket Stadium between these two Trans-Tasman rivals. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do subscribe to Sports Today. Do tune in after this game. We'll bring you a lowdown of what and how the final went down. Thank you.